843, that's where the dream started, man. Red dirt, pine trees, and them old wax packs. Now we in Bama, but that shine still Carolina. Yabo still collecting, still reflecting. 843 raised me, still shine like chrome. From the porch to the trade shows, called at home. Dreams in the glove box, hope in the tone. Still flipping slabs, still hold my own. 843 raised me, still shine like chrome. Every card a prayer, every grade a poem. Can't steal that hustle that's built in the bone. I'm Carolina born, but I'm grown. Back when the summer smelled like gum and dust. Mama at work, I was learning trust. Quarter packs, prayed the pool be judged. That rookie hit clean, I thought that was us. Street lights buzzing, hands full of wax. AI on the box, dreams on the tracks. Didn't have much, but I had that stat. That body felt heavy like it's got my back. Neighbors laughed, said, boy, that's toys. Now them same ones flipping slabs for noise. I stay patient, move with poise. Cars ain't luck, it's balance and choice. Oh, 803 raised me, still shine like chrome. From the porch to the trade shows, called at home. Dreams in the glove box, hope in the tone. Still flipping slabs, still hold my own. 803 raised me, still shine like chrome. Every card a prayer, every grade a poem. Can't steal that hustle that's built in the bone. I'm Carolina born, but I'm grown. Moved to Bama with the same ambition. Same shoebox, new ignition. Still clean cards in the same position. Same dream, just a different edition. Trade night hustle, heart still loyal. Wax in my blood, that hobby soil. Learn patience when the comps got spoiled. Flip back peace when the greed got royal. No shortcuts, no quick flame. I don't chase hype, I build my name. Every pack crack, another page frame. 843 hard, 25 exchange. It's not just the card, it's the calm and the chaos. It's the slow grind, the details, the faith. It's Carolina in my hands, in my flow, in my patience. Oh, 843 raised me, still shine like chrome. From the porch to the trade shows, called at home. Dreams in the glove box, hope in the tone. Still flipping slabs, still hold my own. 843 raised me, still shine like chrome. Every card a prayer, every grade a poem. Can't steal that hustle that's built in the bone. I'm Carolina born, but I'm grown. 843 still shine like chrome. 843. Sounds high hats roll. Record crackle fades. Then silence. Like the end of a pack break.
You never forget the first one you hit. That first pack that changed everything. That smell of wax and bubble gum. That was the sound of a dream opening.
First pack magic, that spark, that flame. One rookie card in life, never the same. Luck ain't random, it's part of the game. Every pull I made, I hit my name. First pack magic, I felt that soul. Cardboard prayers turn silver and gold. Hand on the pack, I believe what I hold. First pull hit, story untold.
I was 9 years old, porch light flicker. Pocket change saved, my plan got thicker. Corner store packs, the gum got bitter. But I ain't care, I was dreaming bigger. Crack that seal, heart thump like bass. Chrome glint shining, I froze in place. Neighbors yelling, boy, what you get? It was rookie year, hoping that sunset set. The cardboard hum like a hymn I prayed. From a small town porch to the plans I made. That moment taught me what patience weighed. Every pack break felt heaven made.
First pack magic, that spark, that flame. One rookie card in life, never the same. Luck ain't random, it's part of the game. Every pull I made, I etched my name. First pack magic, I felt that soul. Cardboard prayers turn silver and gold. Hand on the pack, I believe what I hold. First pull hit, all the others in.
Now I'm grown, but I chase that feel. Trade night lights, same childhood zeal. Every flip remind me what's real. Joy in the pack, Hands open, packs with the same stare. Heart full of hope, pockets bare. I smile cause I've been right there. That first pull still float in the air. It ain't about value.
Big John, what up?
It's about the heartbeat before the reveal. The second you believe anything can happen.
First peg magic, that spark, that flame. One rookie card in life, never the same. Luck ain't random, it's part of the game. Every pull I made, I edged my name. First peg magic, I felt that soul. Cardboard prayers turn silver and gold. Hand on the pack, I believe what I hold. First pull hit, story untold.
Or better, I guess I would say.
You never forget your first. You never forget your first. You never forget your first. You never forget your first.
They say patience pays, but in this game, patience grades. Every fingerprint, every flaw, every corner counts. This ain't luck, this precision.
Shout out to everybody on here right now.
That's how you get that 10. Him in dreams, I don't get my luck. Hands steady when I lift that up. From all the slab, that's love in the cup. Graded 10, that's how I level up. Gym and dreams took time to trust. Clean that surface, don't rush the dust. They chase hype, I polish my cut. Graded 10, that's how I level up. I wipe slow in the soft lamp light. Cotton glove moves, gotta do it right. No fingerprints, just focus sight. Every scuff a story, every flaw in sight. They don't see the nights I sat and stared at the surface, patient, fully aware. This hobby ain't luck, it's art and prayer. Perfection's a whisper, you just gotta care. Sent that card off, sealed and sleeve. Pray for a 10, but I ain't naive. Win or lose, I still believe. It's the process that makes me breathe. When it's in, that's I level up. All gym and dreams, I don't bend my luck. Hands steady when I lift that up. From rubber slab, that's love in a cup. Graded 10, that's I level up. Gym and dreams took time to trust. Clean that surface, don't rush the dust. They chase hype, I polish my cut. Graded 10, that's how I level up. Mail came back, box damn tight. Heartbeat wild, man, it's that night. Cut the tape slow, caught that sight. Red label gleaming, numbers right. PSA 10, but the journey more. Every grind paid up behind closed doors. Every LB4 just set the score. You can't buy a piece that's earned in chores. Now I teach the young ones, slow your play. Ain't no need to flip quick, build your way. It's more than a car, it's what it say. Patience and pride, gon' outlast the day. You see, grading ain't just about a number. It's about the discipline behind it. You can't fake care. And that's what makes the 10 mean something. Gym and dreams, I don't bend my luck. Hands steady when I lift that up. From rubber slab, that's love.
All right. Let's get it started.
By 9 points by Lando Norris tonight. That will be the end of his championship challenge. Lando has a 24-point lead, his largest margin of the season. 3.85 miles long, this circuit. It's the second longest on the calendar and 112 meters from pole to the first braking zone. So you've got to pick your spots and hope you come out into turn 2 still in the lead. Soft is C5, medium C4, hard C3. That's the tyre compounds. The hard is the favoured choice for tonight. So the teams but they've had no running on it throughout the weekend so far.
Oh boy, let's see what we're gonna do today.
Away today, and we hope that continues into what could be a cracking contest. Starting grid has 19 cars on it. Yuki Tsunoda has changed his power unit. He starts from the pit lane. Lewis Hamilton starts 19th for the 4th time.
Come on, let's go, Lewis.
Ahead of these, Gabriel Bortoletto in 18th, down in Q1 for the 5th Grand Prix in a row. Kimi Antonelli, front row in Sao Paulo, 17th tonight. Alex Albon starts 16th after hitting the wall in qualifying. It's 15th for Franco Colapinto, his second Q2 appearance in a Grand Prix. And then it's the Haas boys, Ollie Behrman in 14th and Esteban Ocon 13th, who's out-qualified Behrman for the first time in 7 Grand Prix. Stroll starts 12th for Aston Martin, 11th for Nico Hülkenberg, who's tied the Sauber head-to-head at 11 all. Pierre Gasly in the top 10 here for the 3rd year running. Charles Leclerc starts 9th, no Ferrari in the top 8. Isaac Hadjar starts 8th for the 4th time in the last 6 Grand Prix, and Fernando Alonso starts 7th, his highest start since the summer break. Liam Lawson starts 6th, his 3rd top 6 start of the season. Oscar Piastri starts outside the top 3 for the 4th consecutive race. George Russell in 4th, he won from pole here last year. Carlos Sainz starts 3rd, where he finished last season in Vegas. And it's a front row of Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. What is the 5th time this season? Lando Norris with 5 wins from pole position so far, including the last 2 races.
Let's go get Oscar to win. Jeez,
this could be a tough task tonight. Good evening.
Good evening, Crofty. This is amazing. I'm so happy to be here in Vegas. Vegas is all about a show, right? It's all about the show, and I think we're going to get one tonight.
Yeah, let's get this show started then. If you're Lando Norris, well, you got top spot. You got top billing. You are a Vegas headliner already, but you don't get any points for pole.
What's everybody going for tonight? You know how I'm going.
It's been a nice spot going into turn 1 when the lights go out.
I already know.
He's got Max Verstappen alongside him. He likes a good lunge up the inside in turn 1, and it's worked for him on many occasions. So as long as Lando knows that coming, I think we've got a good fight on our hands.
I think we have. Carlos Sainz starts 3rd. Don't count out Carlos Sainz, I think. Yes, Williams starts 3rd. That's higher than they would normally expect, but he's a bit of a Vegas specialist.
He is a Vegas specialist, and he's a very intelligent driver. And I think they're all going to have to be in this race. It's very green, the track, meaning slippery. We had a lot of rain yesterday. So it's kind of taken a reset to FP1. So, and in FP1, we had a lot of the tires opening up, so graining, which they all are going to have to control and drive within themselves.
1,200 different fountains in that Bellagio Lake, and looking splendid tonight with our trophy for the winner. The tyre blankets have come off. Bernie Collins, there's a lot of yellow on that grid.
There's a lot of yellow on the grid, Crofty.
All right, come on.
The top 10 all starting on the medium. That is largely as expected, but then from 10 rearwards, it gets a bit more exciting. P10 Gasly on the hard tyre, and 6 other drivers in that back of the field on the hard tyre. The big one to watch, I think, on lap 1 for me is Kimi Antonelli, the only soft starter in that. So we expect the hard to have a bit of warm-up. He's got 2 hard tyre starters
and sold out, of
that'll
course.
Be really interesting on lap 1. How much progress can Kimi Antonelli make lap 1?
Now, you said to me, no one will start on the soft tyre. It's the worst strategy going. And I'm glad to see in this gap.
Looks pretty good. It's not going to rain. So it's not going to rain out there.
So come on, let's go. The first lap, then just go hard. Could that be a good strategy?
I think the best race, if there was a safety car lap 1, is hard from there. So let's see what he can do.
Lewis Hamilton just taking his time to get going. It's the 250th Grand Prix of the hybrid era. He's won more races in this era than any other driver. It just seems to see him start so far back. But on the hard
it goes to spear.
It is very strange seeing him start last. Maybe he's taken a bit of, he's been watching the F1 movie, it looks. He's hanging back so that he can get a good burnout and keep some heat. They're all going to want to beat heat in these tyres for when the lights go out. What can Lewis Hamilton do? We never know what Lewis Hamilton can do. I mean, he can do anything. He is such a good driver, so much experience of starting wherever on the grid. But yeah, down in 19th, it's a bit of an unusual one for him. But hard tyre, he's an intelligent guy. He knows what to do with this tyre. He knows how hard to push it, how long he can go, and he's hoping that a lot of other people are struggling with those mediums.
Ferrari say they're targeting points for Lewis Hamilton, podium possibly for Charles Leclerc. They think they got the pace, and they showed on Friday in the dry that they do.
Yeah, but he's 9th. I mean, that's a surprise to think that they're looking for a podium from there. You can overtake here, supposedly, as the easiest, as Ted said, the easiest place to overtake. I'm not so sure. I don't think anywhere's easy to overtake in a Formula One car, especially when it's so tight in terms of pace out there. So
longest race distance, you got 310 kilometers, give or
Easy.
take 50 meters.
exactly. How often is he going to overtake? Every how many laps? 10 laps.
50 laps. 10 laps and he's there. Sounds so easy, doesn't it? I'm with you. It's an ambitious target. Look at that weaving down the straight to try and generate a bit more temperature. It is cold here in Vegas, but the track temperature 25 degrees. That's the warmest we've had all weekend.
It is the warmest, but it's still very chilly. And when the sun goes down on any racing circuit, even in Singapore, when the sun goes down, they still struggle to.
Let me go for Carlos. Let's go. Come on, Carlos.
So the last 7 races have all been won from pole. So 7 Grand Prix in a row, one short of the all-time record. Germany to Long Beach, I think it was in 1976. Will we have a brand new record as Lando Norris makes his way around the final corner to take his position on pole? Toto Wolff watching on, and already Mercedes celebrating victory for Dorian Pan and in the Formula One Academy Championship.
Yeah, I saw that.
Superb season for her, Mercedes driver and Toto joining in the celebrations. Zach Brown on the pit wall. We'll hear from him during the course of this race. McLaren have never qualified or finished in the top 5 here in Vegas on this circuit. Both cars in the top 5 tonight.
They do.
You know,
I think they thought it was going to be a difficult weekend, and to get a pole position, very impressive. This is such an important moment for the drivers, making sure those rear tires are the right temperature for when you come away from the line. It's also the moment that there's just so much pressure. Your heart's pumping.
Pierre Gasly is starting on the medium tyre. That's just been corrected on our screen here for those that want to follow his progress. And well, it feels like Lando Norris and Max Verstappen have been on that front row for quite a while, and we're still waiting for the cars to form up on the grid. Yuki Tsunoda will peel off into the pit lane. Those tyres are dropping in temperature second by second.
Yeah, they are. But it's the same for all of them, at least. It just depends on how much they warm them up before with heavy braking. Lewis is actually starting 19th and at an angle, which doesn't help. Pulling away from the line.
He is so far back, he's almost level with our commentary box on the final corner. Let's see how he gets on. Let's see how we do tonight.
Come on.
It's the Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. And it's Lando Norris getting a good start. It's Max Verstappen coming at him. An aggressive move from Norris to protect that lead, but he's gone wide. And he hasn't protected it because Verstappen has gone through.
What was Norris doing already? Gone. Come on now. It's over with. See?
Carlos Sainz has dropped a place to
Norris ain't even doing too much.
Just inching.
Come on now.
Norris, it's a poor start for the championship leader.
Come on.
Russell goes into second place. Isaac Hadjar ahead of his teammate.
Come on, Oscar, get in there.
And Oscar Piastri's lost places too.
Well, a difficult start for both McLaren drivers there. It was great to see Lando super aggressive at turn 1, but he just went too deep and lost that position to Max.
It was a really aggressive move from Lando Norris, but he had to do it. Verstappen was coming at him and leads and is already streaking clear at the front of the race on lap 1.
All right, we are
further back. That's Fernando Alonso behind Ollie Behrman. He's lost places. Behrman, great start.
He's grabbed 4 places. Ollie.
Motivation.
I'd love to see where he got
Just
that.
post the cards.
Yeah, great start by Ollie.
All they gotta do is take a picture of it.
Cars now file and speed their way down the Las Vegas Boulevard. 1.9 kilometers, absolutely flat out. George Russell pulling away from Lando Norris, who's pulling away from Carlos Sainz, and Oscar Piastri trying to get a bit closer.
Come on, Carlos.
Lawson, but not quite.
Yeah, yellow already.
Damage on Lawson's front wing.
It is.
Oh
the
my
front
gosh.
right of the wing is up in the air, losing a lot of downforce there, so he's going to probably have to pit.
Is that Charles
Leclerc
making a move on Fernando Alonso? Yes, it was. Alonso down to 10th.
That's already up there, man. Come on, what are we doing?
Golly. Leads then. Oh, it's the Marshals making their way still. Double waved yellows. The Marshals sweeping away a bit of debris, and we still got a bit of front wing on the racetrack, but they really shouldn't have been there when the cars were coming through. Verstappen leads by a second.
Who's controlling these Marshals are out of control last couple races?
Piastri in 7th, Behrman, Leclerc, Alonso in 10th.
Now they'll start to settle down a little bit as Tsunoda-san comes in for a pit stop, puts the hard tyre on. But this is the moment where they're trying to find where their car is at the moment. You know, they had that big stopping point at the end of the back straight from 220 miles an hour down to about 50. They know the brakes are working, they know the tyres are up to temperature, and now it's getting in a rhythm.
Oscar Piastri getting closer now to Liam Lawson.
Come on.
Lawson locks up.
Oh!
Damage on that front wing, causing him a huge amount of bother. He just lost 3 places there.
Yeah, he's going to have to pit, isn't he? He's getting under the front tyre, which is always a bit scary.
Yo, I'll be
Yeah,
hot.
he's gonna destroy
That's
that front tyre.
crazy.
Such a shame for Liam Lawson after a brilliant qualifying for him, and he is tumbling down the order, ruining that front tyre, as you say, and that front wing dragging along the ground. Hamilton, by the way, up into 12th. Been an amazing first lap
Come on.
for Lewis Hamilton.
Come on.
He's on the hard tyre as well, and he's overtaking Antonelli on the soft tyre. So yeah, great start by Lewis.
And the virtual safety car has been called by race control, so everything slows down now to 40% of racing speed. The race neutralized.
Why did we do a virtual at first?
3 or 4 cars.
I don't understand. Why don't we do it first?
You won't go. You're not going to gain, or you're not going to.
Everybody just speeding along and stuff. It's crazy.
Liam Lawson will limp home and will make a pit stop. We hope he'll limp home and not have to pull over. There's certainly.
This Marshall's got to get this stuff together.
That's been cleared away, and whilst that happens, let's look at this race start. And Lando got away well, but Verstappen got away better. And there's the lunge to the left.
Oh,
come on, what?
Wasn't it? He just had
and just go on the outside. Here we go.
Contact in the middle of the pack, wasn't
it was Lawson on Piastri banging wheels at the first corner, and that compromised obviously Piastri.
Norris acting like an unexperienced driver. This is crazy.
In front, Norris losing places here to
What are we
George
doing?
Russell.
Yeah, Gasly also got spun.
Shout out to everybody watching right now.
This was the right thing for Lando to do. He could have
virtual safety car is out right now.
It's a 5, but it's a bit of a risky move.
Let's just see.
Well, they
Max kind of had to back out of that quite early on. There you see the lockup from
there we go.
Lawson. That's just how close it looked as Max Verstappen swept through.
And Lawson hit some debris on the track, so
look how he streaks ahead.
Yeah, being offline on the exit of turn 2 there, it makes it very tight through 3 and 4. So it's put him in a bad spot.
So here's Gabriel Portoletto from 18th on the grid, past Albon, past a few, and straight into the path of Lance Stroll.
Shout out to everybody watching right now.
Race. That is how Lance Stroll's race ended at the first corner, and nothing he could do about that. Because
but Lewis did move up. He's at 12 now,
so. Oh, and the same for Lawson there.
Did he get caught out a bit by the lockup from George Russell?
I think so, and he moved to the right a tiny bit, didn't he? Oh, and also with Alex Albon there hitting the back of one of the Haas. I think that was Ocon.
And I think that was an Alpine that had been spun round as well in the middle of the track.
This race is already crazy.
No
Norris, if anybody joining right now.
Oh dear. Now, Piastri and Lawson.
Norris over here playing bumper cars with Max. Didn't quite
Piastri
didn't quite work out.
Wheels there. I'd like to see another replay of that, and we'll get your thoughts, Jensen. That is now under investigation from the stewards. Is this going to be a second race running?
Did Piastri hit Lawson?
For an incident at the first corner.
It looked like he was on the receiving end of it.
It did,
didn't it? And Oscar's front wing, he's dived it down the inside so aggressively that he has got alongside Oscar, but he's going to make contact at some point because he's going too fast to go around the corner.
Virtual safety car is ending, and you've got to keep to a delta. Track is clear. We've got racing once
Here we go.
again. DRS is enabled straight away. You've got to keep to your delta. If you have saved a little bit in reverse, you can get going a little bit quicker and a little bit faster than others. And Piastri has just dropped a bit here behind Hadjar. Liam Lawson has come into the pits. He's back out again, down in 18th. And Bortoletto, Colapinto, Stroll, that collision in turn 1 has been noted. Bortoletto very much causing that incident.
Yeah, it's such a shame, turn 1. It's a really difficult breaking point into turn 1. And also, the circuit's green. They don't really know what to expect. So even if they feel that they're
come on, Leclerc, get up in there.
They're not locking up fronts and causing a few collisions there.
We're on board with both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc down in the pits. Ted, who could you see?
Yeah, well, first of all, Bortoletto is now retired, so that dive bombing didn't work for him. Sonoda pitted, as did Lawson. Gasly's got a lot of damage to the back of his car. His rear rain light is hanging off. I don't know where the Alpine guys managed to take it off, but an absolutely shocking, Crofty, miscommunication between race control and those marshals on track. Absolutely shocking. They have to investigate that later. The marshals further up opposite me in the pit lane could see their colleagues were out and were furiously waving the double yellows. We're just lucky we escaped any incident.
Yeah, no,
That's what I'm saying. The marshals out here just running amok, man. This is crazy.
3 top 10 starts.
I mean, this has been last
He's
like
yet to
few
score a
races.
point
These
in
marshals
Las
has not
Vegas,
been
and his
like
task has been made an awful lot harder.
something's
by
going on
adding
with
to
that.
The first corner, Lewis Hamilton and Esteban Ocon really scrapping away.
They are, and Lewis
Come on, Lewis.
is pushing really hard.
Come
For
on.
him, it's a little bit more difficult to get those tyres working again after the virtual safety car. Antonelli's dropped back a little bit. He's dropped 2 more places back from Lewis Hamilton on that soft tyre, which is surprising.
He's actually pitted as well, JB. He's gone onto the hard tyre now.
Yeah, his
got rid of
was
the
out
softs
hard
under
now.
That virtual safety car.
So that's off.
The laps on them and has pitted. That's why he's dropped back on that one. The stewards investigating.
Shout out to everybody watching right now.
Crash on Stroll. He's out. Portoletto is out. 18 remain. Alex Albon's got issues with the radio communication. They're going to have to use the pit bull.
Okay,
down at
Yuki.
Williams. They can't talk to him. He can't hear him.
Old school. It
Yuki in
it can still
purple.
work. It's just a little bit more difficult. There's damage on quite a few cars. Fernando Alonso also has damage to the front wing, front left of end plate of the car is hanging off. Not a massive issue, but it's just if it does flick underneath the car.
And out in front, Max Verstappen, still hovering about a second clear of George Russell. He streaked ahead past Lando Norris, but George Russell's keeping him pretty keen at the moment as we watch Ollie Behrman ahead of Charles Leclerc making their way down the Las Vegas Boulevard. There is your race leader, and George Russell now under
Russell's
a
right
second
there
behind Max Verstappen.
Oh,
picking up
Russell's
a great
finna-
slipstream behind the Red Bull. Then comes Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz and Isaac Hadjar, and then Oscar Piastri, and here comes Charles Leclerc down the inside.
Oh,
on
good
Ollie
pass.
Behrman. Ferrari said they got pace.
Let's go,
Leclerc's
let's go.
proving it.
Lovely move.
Come
first
on.
car that I saw open the DRS, and what a lovely move.
Come on, Lewis, you next.
Nice
Let's go.
move, but yeah, it's a difficult move there. Late lunge.
Now it's half a second between Verstappen and Russell. Russell's just set the fastest lap of the race. Those medium tyres now up to temperature, working well. Don't forget last year, this man led 49 out of 50 laps here, and Mercedes really fancied their chances coming into this race.
Yeah, he looks strong, doesn't he? He's being aggressive. You know, at this point of the race, I'm sure Max is thinking, you know what, I'm going to look after these front tyres. We saw them opening up. We saw them graining. But he's not allowed to do that because he has all that pressure.
0.67.
Fernando Alonso's got a bit of damage.
0.67. Russell behind Max.
Much
0.67.
closer he's getting now to Ollie Behrman. When we, in a few moments' time, going through 10
Come on.
11, get to turn 12, exit out of that, there's going to be DRS for George Russell in his battle with Max Verstappen. It's not as powerful here as it is at other
Come on,
tracks
Carlos,
because it's
pass
a
Norris.
skinny
Come on.
rear wing that's been run.
Yeah, but it's also, you've got a beautiful toe all the way down that straight. So, yeah, it still makes enough of a difference, but it's going to be a tough one to overtake Max, I think.
Yeah, you probably get close, but not quite close enough. And you've got to try and spring a surprise somewhere else, maybe. But it is DRS for George Russell, and he is getting the slipstream as well. And Verstappen's just having a
He's
look
right
in his
there.
mirror to see
Oh, he's
where
right there.
he
Get him.
is. It's about 3 car lengths behind you, Max, as you go through the
0.3. Oh, get him,
onto the next
George.
straight. Now, this is working its way towards the end of the lap and the quite magnificent final
Is
corner, which in these conditions is absolutely
Russell? No,
flat
he
out.
ain't
How
probably in
brave are you?
sector.
Look at the way the Mercedes still gaining on
Golly.
the Red Bull, but he's going to run out of straight in the turn
Mercedes
one,
out here
and he
working?
remains
Let's
about
go.
6/10 behind.
Yeah, this is such a tricky time for George because he wants to push, he wants to take the lead, but when you're following this close, it's very easy to damage those tires. So he's got to pounce. He's got to pounce as quick as he can, and you can see he's very aggressive, or he's got to drop back a little bit.
And they're pulling away, these two, from Lando Norris down in third place.
0.67.
Away by about 4, 5 tenths a lap currently. Down in fourth. Carlos Sainz, Isaac Hadjar has
Lewis about to
DRS
pass
behind
Ocon right now.
Carlos Sainz. Piastri
He is
just
about to
22
pass
seconds
him.
behind Isaac Hadjar running down in sixth. Then comes Charles Leclerc. Last lap, Charles Leclerc around about the same pace as Oscar Piastri, ahead of Ollie Behrman under pressure from Fernando Alonso and Nico Hulkenberg, currently in the final points place. Around turn 11 we go. Tricky corner, turn 12. Got to get a good exit here.
Ooh.
Yeah, you do. And you go through turn 11, you see the cars hitting the ground, sparking, and you've got to get that braking done when you're laterally loaded. Good
Come on,
exit
Hamilton,
from
get
both
us there.
of them.
Come
I
on.
don't think we're going to see him move this.
Come on, Lewis. Get up there.
So here comes George Russell.
Get up there.
It's such a long straight, this one. You've got bags of time to try and close
Was it
in,
0.7?
but George Russell isn't closing in at the same rate of knots as he was on the previous lap. What he does have to be aware of is tyre graining, tyre degradation. Remember Charles Leclerc last year at this stage of the race.
Yeah, exactly. And it's those high-speed corners that aren't really corners. You know, it's turn 9, turn 10. sorry, turn 10, turn 11, where
Make
you
him
do get
pit.
the damage. when
Make him
it's
pit.
Actually loaded, a lot of G
Come
going
on.
through that tire.
On board with Lewis Hamilton, chasing Esteban Ocon for 11th place, and on board with Max Verstappen, trying to keep George Russell at bay.
We did
And the
0.3.
stewards
Come
have
on,
said
Lewis.
no
Come on.
further
It's
action
right there.
Piastri and Lawson for that turn 1 incident.
Move up on him.
Yeah. Piastri will be going for you, even though he's probably very frustrated because he's the one that got hit.
Lando Norris started on pole. If you're just
No
joining
further
us, he lost the lead on
actions
the first lap.
with
He
Piastri
has
and
got
Lawson.
now 8
So
of his
they just
16
said it.
starts from pole position. He's won
Cool.
the last 2 races from pole, but he's going to have to get something done today. Currently running in 3rd place. And I just
If I was
wonder if
Lawson, I'd be
manages
hot.
I think he can now. You know, there's no point in him being up the.
Piastri's at 6 right now.
George Russell. For
Lawson
him,
at
it's
the
just
pit,
hang
so
back,
he's
just
in
look after his
18.
tyres a
He's
little bit.
last.
You know, he's in 3rd position. We don't know what's going to happen in this race with tyres, so look after them, and then he can pounce later.
And we've lost Gabriel Bortoletto and Lance Stroll. They collided with each other. Bortoletto steaming down the inside, went into Stroll. Out on the first lap, the Canadian driver for the 5th time in his F1 career.
Yeah, so now he had to worry about
Verstappen and Russell.
driving
Once
in
again, George Russell
Vegas no more. The way he was talking,
DRS here.
crazy.
He might just be hanging back a bit, and he didn't get DRS. Is this tyre preservation going on in the Mercedes now, Bernie Collins?
Yeah, I was just going to pick up on what you're saying there, Crofty. There have been discussions on both Verstappen and Norris's video about managing the tyres, telling them which corners are important. Initially, a few laps ago, Verstappen was very concerned about how hard Russell was pushing and how close that gap was.
Come on.
Like you say, a little bit of breathing space now as that medium tyre settles down. And then one to watch right at the back, Crofty, Kimi Antonelli on that hard tyre is going to fit another hard
Come on,
tyre
Lewis.
again. So the
Only,
majority of the
what,
pace is gonna be on that hard
0.48?
tyre with very little management, able
Come
to
on.
keep pushing. He's going to start to close into people's pit window and force some thoughts of how they're going to react to Kimi
Oh, they're
Antonelli on
investigating
that
after the
track.
race.
What did you say was the best strategy to run in
But
this
what?
race?
Y'all
If
can't
you
figure it
could?
out
It
now?
was
This
two
is
hard
Stewart's,
tyres.
man.
If
This
there
is
was
crazy.
no requirement to run a medium, you would not be running a medium. The reason it's been run is because of the legality rule that you have to run 2 different tyre compounds. Now, we've seen it before. We've seen it 2 years ago here where Red Bull with Checo Perez did the exact same on lap 1 instant, changed to do a double
right
hard
back.
tyre stint from there. So Kimi Antonelli should be fit to push on in this tyre now and close that gap.
And Checo started P11 that year and finished on the podium. So that is the best way to run it if you have to start that far back.
Yeah, he actually led a lot of the race, didn't he?
Yeah.
Until they closed him down when the tyres started to wear a little bit. But yeah, definitely, I think great move by Mercedes, as you would expect. A little bit wide there for Lewis, very close to that barrier. Lewis is obviously in a reasonably good position now as well. He's the second of the hard tyre runners, but he's still struggling a little bit to get past the Haas.
Kimi Antonelli has been noted by race control for a false start, moving before the lights went out. Normally, when we see that message, it goes to the stewards and it is an instant 5-second penalty because the data tells you that he's done it. And I really hope he hasn't, but it could be that he's got a 5-second penalty coming his way.
Yeah, it's pretty black and white, isn't it? You either didn't move or you didn't. And if you did, yeah, it's a penalty.
Here's a move. Alex Albon right behind Lewis Hamilton there and managing to hang on to that Ferrari through the final corner. Thought for 1 second about a little move down the inside, but then thought better of it. Didn't want to lock up and steam into turn 1 out of control.
Yeah, it's a tricky place to pass that. I mean, you've got to follow so closely through the last corner, and you get quite a bit of wash. So you do get a bit of understeer when you follow that close. But good little fight here, both on the hard tyre, so they're both being aggressive, fighting forward. They don't really have to hold back and look after that tyre.
Finished 6th in the sprint race in Austin, Alex Albon. That's his only points finished in the last 6 Grand Prix weekends. But that said, 73 points for him this year, the most by any Williams driver since Valtteri Bottas in 2016, who scored 86 points. He's yet to score points in Vegas. Could this be the night? But he needs to get past Lewis Hamilton first, and he's been noted for a starting procedure infringement as well by race control. So Antonelli and Albon could both be facing an investigation. It's not been passed to the stewards as far as we know it just yet. On this lap, Hamilton has just pulled away a little bit from Alex Albon, and we can watch Kimi Antonelli behind Franco Colapinto, who's still trying to make the charge through the field on what is effectively a hard strategy, having got rid of the soft tyres after 2 laps. Hamilton's trying to go as long as he possibly can on the hard, as is Albon, as is Colapinto, and as is Hulkenberg. Watch him in 10th place, because he could go a lot longer than the medium runners, as well as Antonelli makes that move into the chicane, and a very nice move it was too. Kimi Antonelli up into 14th.
Yeah, it's a brave move. That I love seeing a move like that. So no, great job by him. Let's see what he can do. He's going to chase down Albon. He's still 8 seconds behind though. Bit of work needed there. It'd be great to see the start and to see how Ollie Behrman got up to 8th. Obviously the big incident, but that's an impressive start. Staying out of trouble, put himself in a good position for a nice points haul.
He's very good at staying out of trouble. Remember Mexico and the way that he saw the battle unfolding ahead of him, picked up 3 places in 2 corners.
Yeah, he's been great. I mean, obviously he's had a few incidents earlier this year, but I think he's calmed down a bit.
Something like an animal.
What sort of animal? A cheetah, which is the fastest animal on the planet?
Or a tortoise.
Coming out of his shell, maybe, I don't know. I think it's more cheetah than tortoise, to be honest. A 1:36.7 for his last lap was a 10th faster than the car in front. He needs to be a cheetah on steroids, maybe, to get a bit more pace and get the DRS range.
I think he's basically saying, he's on a medium tyre, he's pushing it really hard. Is it the right thing to do? And I'm still not quick enough to catch the guys in front, even though I am pushing.
And the stewards now investigating Kimi Antonelli for moving before the lights out. Ted, down to you.
Just looking across the McLaren pit wall, they must be edging Oscar Piastri on. He's just got into DRS range on Isaac Hadjar. Has been 1.8 seconds, now well into just half a second. So Piastri needs to get on with it to get maximum points for himself today for his championship. And he looks like he's about to put a move on Hadjar.
Let's make sure to be aggressive, guys, okay? Copy loud and clear. We are monitoring a group of 6 slow cars, so we have to be careful not to fit into them.
There'll be the guys on the hard tyres. Albon down to Lawson.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just told us that they're going to be aggressive in terms of they're going to pit as soon as they see a gap that he can fall into. But the only issue with doing that is the car in front of you will always fall into that gap before you do.
Just have a little look at Oscar Piastri's front right tyre, maybe. Tell me what you think of that. He's on the radio at the moment complaining that he's just picking up a bit of front graining, which wouldn't surprise me. Lap 12 out of 50. This is where we could see the graining take a hold of it.
Yeah, and it's that or lock up on the front left and a little bit on the front right there. And it's that corner that really causes it. He just went through, and we've got an opportunity now.
Here comes the animal, ladies and gentlemen. Charles Leclerc picking up a slipstream behind Oscar Piastri, who's complaining of graining, and that's not helping him get out of the slow corners. And there goes Charles Leclerc wheel to wheel, the Ferrari ahead of Oscar Piastri into the braking zone, and Charles Leclerc makes up that place into 6th. And look how Piastri's then sliding out of turn 16.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Oscar put himself on the dirty side of the circuit there. Obviously covering the inside line, which you would do. But yeah, he's picked up a bit of dirt.
And while Charles Leclerc gets one overtake done, Lewis Hamilton is gaining on Esteban Ocon as they make their way to the final corner. This is not going well, it has to be said, for Oscar Piastri currently. And his teammate Lando Norris, who's lost a couple of places at the start, still would be quite okay and content in 3rd place. But the way he's running, Charles Leclerc is going to be on his tail, the animal.
He is driving like an animal. It's great to see. It also, he's just on a roll. In terms of Oscar made one little error and he dived him immediately. He's going to put Hadjar under pressure now. And it's so easy to lock up those front tyres with the laterally loaded corners here with such low grip. You feel under pressure, you tense up, and that happens.
Let's go to Bernie Collins at Sky Race Control. Problems for George Russell, maybe?
Yeah, I'm just listening to the radio coffee, really listening to see if I can hear anything about green. And McLaren, Norris was told, first of all, that Russell's tyre looks a little bit better. But just as Norris was told that, Russell's come on and said, steer an issue, see him again. So signs like the issue they had in qualifying yesterday may be back.
and the issue that he had on the laps to the grid as well. He said he hit the curb and the steering felt a bit light after it hit the curb, and they looked into that before the start of the race. We're on board now with Charles Leclerc. Isaac Hadjar is the car in front. Isaac Hadjar is the car alongside. Isaac Hadjar is the car behind him. Charles Leclerc is getting a shift on here in Vegas tonight.
That was a lovely move. That was not DRS. That was a lunge down the inside. You've got to have a lot of confidence in the guy you're overtaking to make that move.
So the Racing Bulls caught and passed as Alex Albon gets beyond Lewis Hamilton and up into 12th place, and Hamilton then gets him back again. And that scrap was going on through the chicane at 14, 15 and 16. Now Piastri is going to have to try and make inroads on Isaac Hadjar here and try and keep pace with Charles Leclerc as Kimi Antonelli now sets the fastest lap of the race.
Steering, same again.
Copy. That's what we. George Russell is not confident at the moment, and that steering issue that they had on the laps to the grid may be coming back to affect them in the race here. And look how he's dropped back about 8 tenths behind Max Verstappen, as we see now Lewis Hamilton behind Esteban Ocon running wide at turn 12, and you're sitting duck.
Yeah, you are. Oh, Alex hit him. He hit him as he pulled out, so he's damaged the front wing.
Well, look, let's have another little look at this as Hamilton passes Alex Albon and then gets, and will pass him again, and he is ahead with Antonelli now ahead of Albon, who has pitted. And there's debris in the track there, and that might just need a virtual safety car to try and get that cleared away. You remember back to Sao Paulo when Lewis Hamilton hit Franco Colapinto and got a 5-second penalty for it in something very similar to that.
It's a possibility there because he just misjudged it. If there is a virtual safety car, it's probably the lap that everyone's going to try and dive in for the hard tyre that won the mediums.
So maybe stand by for action, Ted Kravitz.
Oh yeah, definitely. All the mechanics coming out readying their wheel guns. So that was especially painful for Alex Albon because he was on the hard tyre and looking to go long, potentially to the middle of the race. He's had to come in, change the front wing, change the tyres, and now rejoined last.
Sadly for him, he has. Sadly for Kimi Antonelli, he's got a 5-second time penalty for moving before lights out. So he's in 13th at the moment. He is motoring along, but he's got a 5-second penalty when he comes into the pits.
Yeah, that hurts. That really does hurt. You know, a guy that they had a great strategy. The team came up with a great strategy, but yeah, he's just got a bit too excited at the start, as did, well, it sounded like Alex did as well. Yeah,
you can't see from that far back the lights at the front. So you've got relay lights that you're looking to on the right-hand side.
Yeah, you do. But it's so tricky. This, as I said before the start of the race, your heart rate is through the roof at that point. You're trying to hold a clutch paddle in, but get ready to release it as quick as you can as well.
Right, here comes Oscar Piastri behind Isaac Hadjar. He's going to get DRS. There it goes. That debris is still there. That makes overtaking very tricky into that braking zone. He's about a car length behind Oscar Piastri as they go through the chicane. I'm surprised that debris is still there.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to make a move down the inside there. You've got a good chance of damaging your car, haven't you? So I don't know what they're going to do. What they're going to do, just wait until the end of the race to take it away, or wait for an incident. It's a tough one because it takes away an overtaking opportunity, one of the biggest overtaking opportunities.
Virtual safety car, and then find a gap, and there is a gap. That collision's been noted by race control, Albon and Hamilton. There's the virtual safety car. There's a massive gap between Lawson and Albon, around about 3 corners, and the entire Las Vegas Boulevard part of this track. So plenty of time for the marshals to get on the track. There we go. There's a marshal running towards it
about
now.
time. They look like a little better now. Jeez.
As best you can. There's another little bit there if you've got time. That's it. Well done.
They should have had a virtual safety car, especially on the last one. This is crazy.
Alex Albon is now making his way through turn 13. Bernie Collins, were you just saying something to me?
Yes, I was just going to say, Crofty, I think it's a well-timed VSC from the race control because all of the front runners had just passed pit entry, so they can hopefully do this under VSC.
Shout out to everybody watching right now.
Anyone gets back to the control line, so that nobody should have an opportunity to box under the VSC, and then racing continues, because I think otherwise everyone on the medium would take this opportunity to box, but the pit crew are ready for it.
Let's just have a quick look at the start, Jensen, from Kimi Antonelli's perspective.
Well, to me, that doesn't look like a jump start. He didn't even get a good start.
And Davidson at the Skypad, were you watching that as well?
I was, Crofty, yeah, and it without slow mowing it, you won't see it. As we've got some action there, Zach.
Oscar Piastri getting past Isaac Hadjar. Sparks flying from underneath the McLaren. Hadjar trying to pick up the slipstream and fight that one back again. The VSC has ended, and Piastri's up to 6th place. And back to you.
What he did, though, Crofty, he just allowed the car to creep ever so slightly before he let the car go. And that's what you miss without being able to see it on the Skypad. We'll look at it after the race. Back to you.
Thanks ever so much. Glad you could clear that one up. I was with you there, JB, thinking, did he move? Really?
That was an important move for Oscar, wasn't it? Now he can get after the guys in front. Charles got great pace, though. He seems really confident. He is pushing hard, and it's just hopefully they don't have the same issue as they had last year with the deg on that tyre.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
What's that? You sent it to me on Instagram?
Was pitted. Sadly for him, pitted when the VSC had ended. So rather than the 12 seconds that he would have lost of his race time, he's lost 21 seconds.
Yeah, but I guess they knew that before he came in.
Let me see.
He just felt it was the right time. And I think it's because just everyone else around him would have been unaware and probably not expecting him to pit.
So George Russell has been talking about his steering issues, and he's clearly losing pace to Max Verstappen, and he's losing pace too to Lando Norris, because look how much closer Lando Norris is to him now.
Yeah, he had the same problem in practice as well. He was complaining about it. Sorry, in qualifying in Q3.
Oh, the dual patch? That's
was that when he's trying to catch
rookie too?
Example, it goes really heavy. And in that moment, you have no confidence, because you know if you push that car to the limit, you're not going to catch it. So it's not a nice position to be.
Lap 17 of 50, and into the pits comes George Russell. While he does that, Nico Hülkenberg moves past Ollie Behrman and up into 8th place. That hard tyre really coming into play here as the mediums start to drop off a little bit. So George Russell will be very glad to get rid of those medium tyres, and back out into the race he comes. But where does he come back out into the race? Now, if they've got this right,
really switch to hards?
They've done it fast enough at Mercedes. He's ahead of Nico Hülkenberg.
George Russell switch to hards.
Ollie Behrman now pits in the Haas. Hülkenberg is in 8th place, and George Russell has a nice little gap ahead of him to feed back into the race.
Yeah, perfect positioning. Hülkenberg is the one that you had to be in front of, because he is the only one, the first one that's going to be going long.
Yeah, you don't want to be bogged down in traffic behind the hard tyre runner. After a few laps, 3, maybe 4 laps, the hard tyre does have a pace advantage over the mediums, and then you can go extra long. So Russell pitting. Lando Norris now has clean air.
Okay, this is our chance. Let's try and pick up the pace.
Yeah, no, I have. Clean air is just miles better. So.
And I didn't even know that radio message was coming up, but the clean air really helps that McLaren to pick up the pace, and that's what he's doing.
He is. Look at the sectors. Yeah, purple first sector, fastest first sector of the race. Just a little bit
in purple.
Sector, so yeah, he's pushing hard.
This is not an undercut race. This is an overcut race. This is go longer than your opponent in front of you.
Yeah, basically.
And enjoy the fact that your tyres are nicely warm and up to temperature. If you're going onto the hard tyres, they take a bit to warm up. So by stopping first, you're denying yourself the chance to put in a barnstormer of an outlap.
Yeah, you're correct. But obviously, if you have pitted already, the cars coming out the pits on cold hards, you can try and have attack them before they get warm. Behrman also had a pit stop. He got passed by Hülkenberg, so came in for a new set of hards.
And Esteban Ocon's still going on those medium tyres and going a little bit wider than he would have wanted. And that'll give Lewis Hamilton all the encouragement he needs through turn 4 to gain that little bit more. They're on the run down towards turn 5 now, as the stewards are looking at Alex Albon for a starting procedure infringement. So there's the incident with Hamilton that we saw. That's under investigation. And the starting procedure infringement as well.
Come on, Lewis, get him right there. Come on.
You wait a while for a penalty.
Let's see, 0.47. Let's go.
It's, sometimes it just gets worse and worse.
thank you. So we have a 5-second penalty for jump start.
Wow.
We don't understand, but we're investigating.
And I'm sure they'll have heard this analysis from down on the Sky Pad as well. They might also explain things for Mercedes, but they've got the data as well, and all the time.
On lap 19 right now, just let everybody know. Shout out to everybody watching right now.
It's not horrific. It's 5
With
seconds.
that follow.
It could be a lot worse, couldn't it? I mean, I've seen much worse penalties, so 5 seconds is fine. Lewis Hamilton, he's still struggling to get past Ocon, isn't he?
He is. Ocon's actually running a terrific race here. 9th currently for Haas after starting 13th. And no room to force his way past Lewis Hamilton into the chicane at the end of the boulevard. Ocon been outscored 32-3 by his teammate Ollie Behrman since the summer break. Don't forget, he finished 4th from 16th here for Alpine.
Bro, I gotta get it together. Especially
already 7 top 4 finishes in
especially on the straights, man. This is crazy. Shout out to everybody watching right now. Everybody coming in watching.
On those tires. Lewis took a massive chunk out of him through 14, 15, 16.
New episode of the podcast is out now, so shout out to everybody that's on here right now.
Yeah, with DRS, Hamilton is gaining on Ollie Behrman. He's going to have to just stick by him and behind him for a few more corners. And as I say that, Alex Albon has handed a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision on Lewis Hamilton when they were scrapping away.
Sit down.
There's a lot talked about consistency, lack of this, that, the other. That's exactly the same penalty that Hamilton got for the collision with Franco Colapinto in Sao Paulo. It's exactly the same penalty that Fernando Alonso got a couple of years previous in Sao Paulo for doing the same thing too.
It's frustrating for the driver, but he knows he's done wrong. He just misjudged there, which is a shame for Alex.
Yeah.
Lando Norris
right there,
taking a couple of tenths out of Max Verstappen over the last couple of laps, taking it down. So, it's getting exciting in front.
Here comes George Russell trying to make some moves through the field on Isaac Hadjar. I think it's going to be pitting at the end of this lap. That's an easy move on fresher tyres for George Russell. So he's gone on to the hards a lot sooner than his rivals in this race, Verstappen and Norris. Verstappen's
Hamilton's at 9. Oh, yeah, that's right, because everybody's fitting.
Lando Norris by setting
Let's go,
his best lap of the race on lap 20.
And he passed Ocon. Let's go.
Still running in 3rd. It's a reprimand for Alex Albon.
And then Lewis should be 8.
Infringement. It might not have been moving under the lights, might have been something else. He's got a reprimand, so just the one penalty there as Isaac Hadjar does come into the pits, and there should be a nice gap in front of Franco Colapinto.
All right, come on, let's go.
Back out into this race.
We got Hulkenberg next. Let's go.
And while I say that, Lewis Hamilton's got past Esteban Ocon. Has finally made that move.
I think Esteban's going to also pit this lap, which will be even more frustrating for Lewis. But looking at the cars that have stopped George Russell, his last lap was a 35.7. He's only matching Max Verstappen's lap times at the moment. Obviously, had a little bit of traffic, but still.
I think it's one of these things. If you nurse these tyres and just gently encourage them to warm themselves up over 2 or 3 laps, get to the right temperature, you are fine for the rest of the stint. If you push too hard, they're a little bit fragile.
Yeah, they are, and they don't like heat spikes. But I'm surprised at how well the medium tire is doing. They're, 20 laps.
Yeah.
20 laps in, and nobody's really struggling with it graining. They're just degrading, which is normal.
Helped a bit by the temperature at the start, but that is now dropping. Under 18 degrees track temperature. Leclerc is right on the tail of Carlos Sainz, and alongside us in the commentary box, Bernie Collins.
Yeah, exactly, Crofty. And to pick up on that, as the track temperature comes down, also the fuel's coming down, the track is improving, so the green should improve through the race, if anything. And Piastri called in.
Piastri called in because they've seen now the pace of George Russell starting to increase a bit as well. Get rid of those medium tyres, get onto the hard tyres.
Piastri just got his first, what is that?
Stick for him.
What is that?
Through goes Antonelli, and Piastri will feed back out into this race, down in 10th place.
You're hard, so you gotta be hard.
He is behind Kimi Antonelli, who hasn't come into the pits yet and probably won't for quite a few more laps to come, as Tsunoda makes the move on Colapinto, and once again Colapinto stays ahead, and we watch Lewis Hamilton now behind Carlos Sainz.
Oh, the car was a little bit oversteer in the entry for Lewis, but great turn-in. The car's turning really well. We've got the high-speed right-hander now of turn 10 into turn 11. He's recharging in front, Carlos Sainz. This is such an important exit for both of these to try and keep this position for Carlos and for
them not to hit that wall is amazing. I think I hit the wall every time I play the game.
Colapinto, Fernando Alonso has forced his way, like a little magpie spotting someone's jewelry into the middle of that pack. Opportunist move there as Carlos Sainz is going to be coming into the pits. Charles Leclerc is trying to make a move into the chicane. Ted, down to you.
Yeah, so Lando Norris pits. Actually, Oscar Piastri's pit stop was a little bit slow on the front, but McLaren have fixed that, and it's a very tidy one. Ooh. Russell's still going to beat him out, isn't he, Crofty? Quite comfortably by a second or two, but Lando obviously will have fresher tyres.
Well, he is going to make it by about a second and a half. Spot on there, Ted Kravitz. So George Russell, by stopping that earlier, has preserved his second place. Sainz makes his pit stop. He'll come out. Well, this is going to be nip and tuck with Oscar Piastri. Piastri round the first corner he goes. This could be what they call the late undercut.
Yeah.
You know, the one where you don't get your guy in the pit stop, but your tires
pass,
are
Oscar.
a bit warmer than the guy who's just coming out. And you can use it to great effect to make the move instantaneously when you're together on the track. The late undercut, as explained and demonstrated by Oscar Piastri.
The late undercut. Listen to you, Crofty. You know your stuff, don't you? Yeah, that was a great move. You know, great decision by McLaren to pit him a little earlier. The thing is, he's had to push super hard on those tires to get close enough to Carlos to make that move.
I'd like to thank Diego Laverno, the sporting director at Ferrari, who was a lovely gentleman and explained that to me in detail about 3 hours ago. There's a bit of damage to Fernando Alonso's front wing. It didn't matter to him there, though, did it?
What a move. Round the outside, putting a lot of trust. Oh, and another great move. He's flying, isn't he?
He's loving it. He'd love it a bit more if he was in the points, but it's not been a bad weekend in terms of competitive pace for Aston Martin, certainly in the wet. As I said earlier, his and Aston Martin's highest start since the summer break. Esteban Ocon now has Kimi Antonelli right behind him. Watch, some of these early hard tyre runners are still very, very much in the game here. And that's Antonelli, and that's also Lewis Hamilton.
24 laps.
If Leclerc
was almost halfway there.
Piastri is going to be about a second ahead of him, but that might change. You never know on that one. Leclerc has got great pace, and they're just hanging out there. McLaren might have to do a two-stopper. It might be a one-stopper for Ferrari. You need to bear that in mind a little bit. We might see a mix of strategies depending on whether you're suffering too much from the graining or not.
Yeah, but so far it doesn't look like they have any issues at all. Max Verstappen still pumping in the 31 minutes 35, so he's since everyone else is pitted behind him, he's really pushing. He's 20 seconds in front of Charles Leclerc now.
He's almost a pit stop ahead, isn't he, on that one? It's about 3 laps ago that Verstappen responded to Norris by setting the fastest lap of the race.
Right, you got to tell me 2 things. Am I doing my race, or am I trying to go forwards?
So, Lando, we think this is plan B for everyone. We want to go forwards, but the way to beat Russell will be at the end. We want better tyres in here, but at the end.
So explain that one for us, Bernie Collins.
Yeah, exactly. What they're discussing there is Norris is asking, am I pushing now to try and get these guys? Am I trying to undercut? What is my best way to get my race? How am I going to do it? And they're given the information that Russell, they think everyone's on a one stop. He has fresher tyres than Russell. The way to get Russell is going to be at the end of the race. One other bit of information, just to stop him quickly. He is not focused, I think, so much on Leclerc, who's just pitted. We're just watching that now. It's Russell. Russell's 22 seconds behind, but going quicker. 2 laps ago, it was 3/10. The last lap, just a 10th. So they're going to watch Russell slowly closing into Verstappen's pit window. Now, the pit window, as we know, 21 seconds. They've got to allow for the warm-up, Crosby. So you need more margin than the 21 seconds.
So Charles Leclerc has got, by staying out longer, ahead of Carlos Sainz. Will we see the late undercuts at play here? Piastri is ahead and has gone through. He's in 8th place. And Esteban Ocon still running those mediums in 7th.
He is. Oh, he couldn't quite get there, could he, Carlos? He got so close, but didn't quite have the speed to make the move on Charles.
Max Verstappen is coming in, and he should now be a pit stop clear of George Russell. And if they get it right at Red Bull, might come out just under a second ahead of George Russell. So we're back to where it was before George Russell had to back off because his tyres were graining round about 17 laps ago.
I think George Russell knows that Max Verstappen's pitting. He's just thrown in a purple middle sector, his best first sector as well. So he knows this is coming.
What used to be at Mercedes hammer time, as Max Verstappen goes a bit long on his marks there, has now turned into the Russell hustle. 3 seconds, Max Verstappen was stationary. That is about 8/10 longer than Red Bull would have wanted. We're watching Carlos Sainz catch Charles Leclerc. I'm watching Max Verstappen get on to the track proper out of his pit stop and still then ahead of George Russell, but there is not a lot in it, and Russell is on warmer tyres, and Max is going to have to defend against George Russell here and try and nurse his tyres up
George
into
in the purple.
not destroy them
He's
too
in the
much
purple.
in these early stages. 1.3 seconds at the distance between them. We're on lap 26 out of 50. We've just passed half race distance.
Yeah, I would love to be watching the two at the front fighting right now, but great to see Carlos trying to take it to his old teammate, but hasn't got quite the pace, I don't think, to take it to the Ferrari right now.
So well timed by Red Bull, and even that slightly longer pit stop has not cost Max
Lewis still in
Verstappen
pit.
the lead of this race. Verstappen,
Still needs to pit, but I mean, he's still moving.
2023 started second here, went on to win the race, and he's trying to do that for the second time in 3 years. But he's got George Russell, the man who won from pole last year, who is chasing him. And it has not surprised me in the slightest that as we now go into the second half of the race, it's these two scrapping for the lead.
It is, you know, they're scrapping for the lead, but Max is in such a lovely position now. He's come out in front of the other guy that pitted 8 laps before. So he has got super fresh tyres, and he's got a clear road in front of him.
Watching Carlos Sainz as well, behind Charles Leclerc, who hasn't pitted so far. Hulkenberg hasn't pitted, Hamilton hasn't pitted, and Esteban Ocon hasn't pitted. Take those 3 away, Charles Leclerc would be up into 6th place and still motoring through, I'm sure. And they are the 3 that haven't pitted in this race so far. Antonelli will have a 5-second penalty coming his way when he pits for moving slightly before the lights went out. And Alex Albon, having served his penalty for the collision with Lewis Hamilton, is down in 18th and just set the fastest lap of the race before Oscar Piastri then responded. He is significantly quicker than Esteban Ocon, who's the car in front of him. But Piastri, it's damage limitation once again for Oscar Piastri, whose title championship since that win in Zandvoort has just unraveled for one reason or another. He can't find the pace that he was showing earlier on in the season.
Yeah, and also when you're putting yourself on the 3rd row of the grid, especially here in Vegas, there's so much that can happen.
Oh, they keep touching the car.
And it did, and he got pushed out. So it's not been an easy run for him. He's also
or they keep touching the car.
He should be able to get past. He should be able to get past him pretty easily, but it's still going to cost him time.
Is it another low grip track that doesn't suit Oscar Piastri? And we're seeing that his driving style, it just struggles in these sort of conditions.
Yeah, he's very smooth. He's very precise, and sometimes that's a benefit. Sometimes it does hurt you. I think that Lando likes to throw the car around a bit more like Max Verstappen, and you can see that out there. They're just able to get more out of it. They're able to get the car working around a circuit that's such low grip.
And if there's one person that knows all about smooth and precise driving, it's you, Jensen Button. Zach Brown, listening on the McLaren pit wall to our conversation and joining us now. So not the best starts in this race, but Lando trying to claw his way back into the top 2. Zach, Oscar struggling a little bit down in 7th. What's your targets from here?
Yeah, not the greatest start, unfortunately, but I think Lando's got similar pace to Max and George, but doesn't appear to be quicker. So we'll have to see what long runs look like on the hard tires, and same thing with Oscar. I think we got a couple cars to pit in front of us, so let's see. But it's a difficult race. I'm not sure we got race-winning pace.
No
Hey, Zach, it's
shot.
Jensen. The start was obviously very aggressive by Lando. It was lovely to see, though. Lovely to see that aggression. But it looked like he just went a little bit deep into turn 1.
Yeah, exactly. He was Max got a good, little bit better jump, and Lando went to protect and just cooked it a little bit. But good to see it wasn't going to make it easy.
I mean, the good thing for Oscar Piastri, he's made the undercut work. He's got clear ahead of Leclerc and Sainz. Just watching Kimi Antonelli, Zach, do you think he can go to the end of the race? He's run the soft, he's on the hard. Can he go to the end of the race on this tyre compound? Is he a factor in your calculations?
I'd be surprised if he could do that many laps on this tire.
Yeah, but he can't do it.
But, you know, we're all lacking a little bit of data from earlier in the week with the weather, but that'd be a surprise if he could do that many more laps on that set of tires.
I think you make something like 300 million simulations using your AI into this race. Not sure if that one would count or not, but it's worth asking the question. Thanks ever so much, Zach. We'll speak to you in a little while. Yeah, the AI technology allows race simulations to be computed at the click of the fingers, and it's about 300 million different simulations they come up with.
But you still need data to put into it, and we don't have any data. That's the problem from testing. If Antonelli is thinking about going to the end of the race, he's not holding back. He's been in the low 35s, been one of the quickest cars on track every lap.
I asked that question to Zach because Bernie Collins, our resident strategic expert, said, ask Zach if Antonelli can go to the end. You think he can?
Well, I'm looking at the lap times. There's no drop-off. He's on lap 26 with the hard tyre. He's got a 5-second penalty, so the pit stop's going to be quite long. So they've got to factor in the pit stop and the new tyre for the final half of the race versus that extra time in the pit loss. So I don't think it's totally out there because the tyres are much, much better at this stage
He can't.
than we expected. So just have it on your radar as a possibility. I can assure you that Randy and the strategists down at McLaren are running it as a possibility as well. But one to watch out. He's obviously got the 5-second penalty. That would be added to his race time at the end if he doesn't serve a pit stop. But I'm not totally against it at this stage.
And when Bernie says it's a possibility, it's a possibility. Hamilton gaining, by the way, on Nico Hulkenberg as Lando Norris sets a new fastest lap of the race. Lap 29, he was about 0.6 faster than George Russell. Zach was saying as Hamilton now comes into the pits that they think they've got the same pace as the top two. Ted, down to you.
And Lewis Hamilton had been on the radio saying that the tyres were starting to hurt a bit. So this is really the earliest putting the medium tyre on that Lewis Hamilton can do to get to the end. Ideally, the strategy computer said you'd hang it out until around lap 33, 35, and then put the medium on. This is going to be tight for Hamilton for the end. That's why you're not seeing the likes of Hulkenberg or Antonelli. Actually, we've just seen Lawson in again after his early stop for damage. That's why you're not seeing them in yet.
Ted, thanks ever so much indeed. Beyonce and Jay-Z watching from the back of the Ferrari garage. We're not quite at a
That was
wrap
crazy.
yet. We've got another 20 laps to go in this race before we can celebrate whoever wins. Just on that Kimi Antonelli thing, strategy, Bernie, longest hard C3 stint last year was 33 laps. Kevin Magnussen and Esteban Ocon. But don't forget,
Shout out to B&J.
Liam Lawson did 52 of 71 laps in Sao Paulo on the medium compound, which was the C3 tyre, which is the hard this week.
Oh, big lock up there for Ollie Behrman. Yeah, I mean, it's also a lot easier on tyres around here than Interlagos. Interlagos is tough.
Yeah.
There's some high-speed corners there that really put a lot of load through those tyres. So, yeah, anything is possible. Exciting. I love that they're possibly thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't think that massive stint on the medium tyre was amazing towards the end, to be honest. But the thing for Kimi Antonelli, he's neither Hulkenberg ahead, who's just boxed.
Hulkenberg has just boxed, yes.
So now he's got lovely free air on this hard tyre. Now is a chance to see if that hard tyre can extend in any way.
Alonso?
Hamilton and Fernando Alonso, former teammates in 2007 when they get together. Something always goes on and is going on currently. This is a great little scrap. 10th, 11th and 12th with Ollie Behrman joining the party too. And Alonso still running with that front wing, which is not quite at the angle the aerodynamicists originally intended.
Yeah, it's not the best, is it? We've seen it before, though. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. But Ollie Behrman must be thinking, wow, I'm following Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. They're fighting it out, and I'm part of this now.
Yeah, let's be generous to Ollie Behrman. There's a three-way scrap going on here with 9 world titles between them.
Exactly. Yeah. But he's on it. Look, he's pushing Fernando around. So that he had that little lockup in turn 12 before, which hurt him. But yeah, if he can get close enough, he'll be making that move into 14.
Nico Hulkenberg is ahead of Lewis Hamilton, so going that little bit longer work for him. Hulkenberg onto the medium tyre. Don't forget, Hamilton Hamilton running the medium tyre, did 29 laps on that hard tyre, so he can go to the end as well. I think we're pretty much looking at a one-stop race here. It's whether Kimi Antonelli can make a one-stop race work after pitting on lap 2.
It should make Vegas shoot stop.
As here goes Ollie Behrman on Fernando Alonso. Nice. Very nice indeed. Ollie Behrman up into 11th.
Yeah, that was a nice move. That would have felt good.
Not if you're Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, I know. But for Ollie, you know, he's made some good moves this race, and it's good to see him fighting up there with them. And be interesting to see how many points he can take away from this, because he was relatively early stopper, wasn't he? Which hasn't really helped him.
Yeah, lap 17.
Yeah, he was running in 8th. Now he's down in 11th, and everyone apart from Antonelli. Well, Antonelli just pitted very early. Everyone else has pitted now.
Do you want to know who is the fastest amongst the top 3? We're riding on board with him right now. 1:34.6 for the last lap for Lando Norris. It was 7/10 faster, near enough, than George Russell, and that is how he's taken quite a big chunk out of Russell's advantage over the last 4 laps. Watching Esteban Ocon behind Fernando Alonso at the same time as this battle. The top 3 separated by 5 seconds. Norris has a better pace than Max Verstappen, give it 2 or 3 tenths a lap, but he's got George Russell right in the middle of it. And in the Drivers' Championship, that is how it currently looks. If you're Lando Norris, it looks very nice indeed. So 24, got to do the maths here, 24, 29 points, the difference between himself and Oscar Piastri going into the final 2 race weekends, where there are 58 points on offer.
Yeah, lovely position to be in. He's just taking another 8 tenths out of George Russell that last lap. So is George looking after the tyres a bit, or is the 8 lap, is it about 8 lap deficit really hurting? It's starting to hurt him.
So Lando Norris has run these tyres for 10 laps. George Russell has run them for 15 laps.
So it's only 5 laps. I don't think that's too big.
What I can say is I'm Norris. I'm quick. I'll do all I can to do 10 problems. Don't want to do something stupid. Push the target.
So is he my race, or is he too fast for me to really put up a fight here?
He's not too fast, is he? I mean, you've got to give it a go. You know, he's not that much quicker than him, and he's still got to get past. So it's all to play for George, and he loves a good scrap. So I'd like to see this.
If he can keep Lando behind for a couple of laps, then Lando might have to back off a bit to stop his tyres graining up. But I think down that long straight, if you have
it should make it
that is half
2 stops in Vegas.
Quicker than you, it's almost impossible to defend.
It is. I think
that's where we get a better race.
From what we know,
which I love Vegas.
So,
I love Vegas. It'll be a lot faster.
Tricky. Obviously, he will have DRS, but be interesting to see if he does have that opportunity into T14. But he is giving it everything at the moment. He's pushing really, really hard, aggressive. He wants to get this move done sooner rather than later, because he still wants to
catch with.
You want me to DRS or try to overtake?
Overtaking. We're going to go get Max.
I was just about to say, if Lando Norris can get past George Russell, and I think it's a case of when, not if currently, he has got the pace to chase after Max Verstappen here. And after losing the places that he did at the start, the incentive of 3 wins in a row from pole position and further extending his championship lead is all Lando Norris needs.
Yeah, exactly. But as we've heard, he's only thinking of race by race. So he will be after this victory. He won't want to finish second behind Max. But Max has obviously been told Lando's lap times, because he's just gone purple in the first sector. He's gone green in the second sector. He's starting to push now.
300 Grand Prix starts between these two, 150 each.
There.
They celebrate on exactly the same night. George Russell currently has second place. Here comes Lando Norris.
Whoa.
DRS slips
there he is.
Pulls out.
There it is.
Has he got the speed to overtake George Russell?
Norris got him.
Second before he gets to the chicane.
He's
yes,
out.
He has. Lando's pace is carrying and propelling him forward. And now That's the man he's chasing after, Max Verstappen.
He's got the momentum now, hasn't he? And he can see Max. He hasn't got a car in the way. He can see Max, so he's going to be fun to watch.
As a driver, does it make a difference?
Massive difference.
When you can see your opponent ahead.
Massive difference. And if the opponent ahead can see you in his mirrors, that also makes a big difference. Not sure it does to Max, though.
Max will know he's coming, feel that he's coming, I'm sure. This was the move.
At 220 miles an hour.
Mere bagatelle, sir. Mere bagatelle. 220 miles an hour down the Las Vegas Boulevard. A piece of road that normally, if you can do 20 miles an hour, you're doing well. That's only at about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
It's almost like a car park down on the strip. And look how he's now pulling ahead of George Russell. He's a tenth of a second quicker in the first sector than Max Verstappen. He's 0.6 faster than George Russell. Behind him, Kimi Antonelli, who's still showing no signs of coming in for a pit stop. Bernie King's looking at me in race control. I don't know if there's any chatter with Kimi Antonelli about pitting or if he's talking about tyres.
There was a lot of discussion about should he get into management.
Sorry, 2 seconds, Bernie.
Info, Max. Lando has been told to come and get you, but he is saving turn 17, 5, 11.
Oh, that was me hanging on for a reply. Come on, Max, don't keep us waiting.
It might still come.
Bernie.
Yeah, I heard that from GP, and I love GP, but I
That's
think
hilarious.
Max probably knew that as soon as Lando was passed, that was his target. But yes, from Antonelli's point of view, there was a bit of discussion if he should get into some
Here it
management.
comes.
I was looking at what would happen if there was a safety car or if he had to do a full pit stop now. He gained 2 positions if there was a safety car, which he would lose anyway with the 5-second penalty. So I think if there's a safety car, he should definitely take it. But he doesn't sound unconfident on the tyre. George Russell actually sounds less confident on his tyres. He said the front is opening up slightly, and they've told him that the priority is to get to the end because he does have Kimi Antonelli as that little protection behind from Piastri and Leclerc. So it's interesting for Mercedes' side now how they play that strategy.
Yeah, Oscar Piastri is only 1.3 seconds behind Kimi Antonelli. And is lapping about 0.3 faster. He's got that protection from Antonelli currently, and I'm not sure how much longer he's going to have that.
No, exactly. But Antonelli's actually quicker than George Russell at the moment, the last couple of laps, but 0.3 slower than Piastri. Max just did a 26.5 in the first sector, 0.8 quicker than Lando Norris in the first sector. So it just seems to be swinging around, and maybe drivers are putting too much heat into those front tyres, and then they're feeling it, so they're backing off a bit. It's like they're attacking, backing off, attacking.
Come on, Oscar.
It's quite unusual.
Just wondering, has Lewis Hamilton's race stalled out a little bit in 10th, currently on the medium tyre? He's not getting the pace necessarily, but Nico Hülkenberg is the driver ahead of him. Isaac Hadjar still runs in 8th. Carlos Sainz in 7th. Important points for both Racing Bulls and Williams. Charles Leclerc is about 1.5 seconds behind this man, Oscar Piastri. Don't count him out in the latter stages too, as Alex Albon comes into the pits for what will be his 4th visit
And
into
Max
the pits
is
this race. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if we don't see him coming back out again.
Yeah, I agree. Tough one for him. His teammate's doing well, though. I mean, obviously lost some places from P3. I think we expected him to a little bit, but his lap times are actually not bad compared to the 2 in front.
So we were waiting. There's Alex Albon being pushed into the garage. Your heart sinks a little bit, doesn't it, when Alex Albon retires from the race? But that's 3 out now. Stroll, Bortoletto, and Albon. And we can head down to Tech.
I think with a lot of the no radio to Albon, it has just been very difficult to manage just the normal running of the car, Crofty. I mean, Jensen, you'll know how much you're told you have to change from the cockpit on the steering wheel. And there's just, without that radio, it's been really difficult. Zach Brown has left the McLaren pit wall, I assume just for a comfort break. I know he's going back out there. Actually, he's got a cup of tea. So if you're looking for a tea break at this early time of the morning, then Zach Brown is with you. He's just got a coffee and has returned to the pit wall. But I thought he was going before it gets interesting between him and Max Verstappen. But as he said to you earlier, Crofty, I think we can assume that he was correct when he said that McLaren
he's catching up.
Have the pace of Red Bull in this race.
He's catching up.
Max Verstappen has set another fastest lap of this
Jeez
race.
Louise.
He's been told to reduce all management which would be tyre management, I'm sure. And it's like the reins have been loosened on the bull a little bit, and he's now showing his true pace out in front. Piastri gaining on Antonelli. Let's see how exciting this is and whether Zach Brown can hang on to that Mugger T without spilling any by the time Piastri gets past the Mercedes, because it's coming.
It is coming, isn't it? Just looking at the Norris, he's still Max Verstappen's quickest lap of the race, so he's still in this fight. But Oscar will be lining up Antonelli for hopefully down the back straight. But it's still not going to be easy though, because Antonelli's, his lap times are pretty good. He's only losing probably 2 or 3 tenths a lap to Oscar.
What Kimi Antonelli needs to guard against is the likes of Isaac Hadjar, Nico Hulkenberg, losing too much time to them. He's got a buffer at the moment, but with that 5-second penalty, he could find himself dropping to the bottom fringes of the points.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? The 2 cars behind him are right behind him.
Because I definitely think he's going for that one stopper now. That it would be pointless pitting him, because he's going to lose so much time and not have enough time to make it back up again.
It's difficult though, isn't it? Because he's just going to fall back now. I mean, there's a good chance he could fall back into. If he gets overtaken by these two, it's going to put him on the back foot, and I think he'll start losing temperature in those tyres because he's having to move out the way offline. I think Carlos might even have that opportunity to chase him down.
So down the brightest boulevard on planet Earth, Oscar Piastri,
There he goes.
Antonelli into the
Oh,
chicane
come
we
on,
go.
Oscar.
Antonelli positions the
Oscar,
car very
come on.
nicely indeed on the inside, made that really tough for Oscar Piastri, who's lost a bit of time in the process, and that has allowed Charles Leclerc to go right onto the tail of the McLaren. Look how much closer Leclerc is now as they cross the line to start lap 39.
That's a tricky corner to follow that closely behind. That was a brave Charles Leclerc. But did you see that moment that Oscar had in turn 14, 15? That massive.
God damn it, watch right now.
But held it. And we've seen that a lot this weekend.
DRS still for Oscar Piastri and for Charles Leclerc right behind him. This is the battle for 4th place.
Come on, Lewis.
Antonelli
At least Oscar
put his
can get up
car
there.
in the most perfect position to defend there.
He did, and he's got a bit of breathing room now, which he will enjoy. But 11 laps, trying to keep these two behind him. Oh, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it can happen, but we shall see. And it's all about the exit. I think you get out of turn 12 before the Las Vegas Boulevard, that long run. If you can get that right, the tyres of the grip is there, then you can defend. If they're not, you could be a sitting duck. Verstappen and Norris separated by 1/10 of a second on the previous lap. George Russell in 3rd place, dropping back and losing time significantly to both on the previous lap. Then there comes this battle. Antonelli, Piastri and Leclerc. Sainz comfortably ahead of Hadjar. Hulkenberg comfortably ahead of Hamilton. Here comes Charles Leclerc behind Oscar Piastri. Piastri's not making the inroads on Antonelli, and they concertina together to go through that chicane. And we have seen a lot of last lap late drama into that chicane involving Charles Leclerc as well.
Yeah, we have. And I think as the tyres wear and as Kimi's tyres get worse, they're going to get closer and closer. And I think Carlos is also going to join the back. He's sort of 6 tenths quicker, 4 tenths quicker in the last lap than Antonelli. And if they keep fighting, it could be a 4-way scrap.
That's a very fine point. 19 laps difference, the tyre life between Antonelli and between Oscar Piastri. Antonelli's doing a sensational job. He really is.
He is. The thing is, when the rubber starts wearing, you struggle to keep temperature in the tyre, and especially on the fronts. So you might start seeing a little bit more front locking in places when you're laterally loaded. And one little lockup here makes a massive difference, puts you offline and gives those hungry racing drivers behind the opportunity.
Right, Max Verstappen nearly 6 seconds clear of Lando Norris. Another fastest lap for Max Verstappen, who is in his happy place currently and is looking a sure bet, if ever you can have a sure bet in this city, for win number 69 of his career. Ted, let's head down to you.
A couple of lines from Mercedes. First of all, with the Russell steering issue, they say that he hasn't complained about it since, and it doesn't seem to be costing him too much time. But have you raised the slightly cynical suggestion, Crofty, that Antonelli is just doing a job for Russell here?
No, I think he's running his best race.
Or should I? Yeah, but he's got a penalty to serve, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So he's just holding up Piastri and preventing Piastri from being a challenge to Russell, even though Russell is 10 seconds or so down the road.
Well, I think he's running his best race, but the benefit to Mercedes by him doing that is it's helping George Russell. I don't think it's harming Kimi Antonelli necessarily, because if you look at the two drivers behind him, yeah, I think they've got comfortable pace. But is Antonelli going slower than Carlos Sainz? Is he going slower than Isaac Hadjar? Not really.
He's not now. Just putting a 34.4, really quick lap on those tires. But I think Ted's right in terms of if they weren't sure about what strategy to run, whether they were going to pit him or not, they would choose to not pit him. It's definitely going to help George.
There's the live Drivers' Championship as it stands currently. 32 points will be the gap between Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri going in to the final 2 rounds of the season. And Max Verstappen will still be mathematically in contention too, as he's not being outscored by 9 points by Lando Norris tonight. He's deploying battery, is Kimi Antonelli, because he hasn't got DRS. Oscar Piastri's got a little bit more battery remaining and more juice to try and deploy, and he's got DRS. And Charles Leclerc's got DRS. And, well, I don't think that Oscar Piastri is as close as he needs to be, and that is how it bears out going into the chicane. You've got to be about 4 tenths behind, I think, coming out of turn 12, and then you can really go for it.
Yeah, it's such a long straight. You would think it would be easy, right?
Yeah.
Especially considering half of it's with DRS, but it's still not easy to overtake down there. I think a lot of it is because Kimi's still able to get good exits. He's still able to put the power down.
So if you're just joining us, Lando Norris started on pole. He
Wait, 2 out of 15 laps to go.
Max Verstappen.
I mean, already been.
Russell managed to get past him. Lando was fighting his way back.
Do a refill.
The championship leader into this race. Oscar Piastri, he lost places at the start too. He's fighting his way back now up into 5th, but desperately trying to get past Kimi Antonelli, who jumped the starts, albeit by a micro fraction, and has got a 5-second penalty coming his way at the end of this race, but is doing a stout defense job against Piastri and Leclerc currently. We lost Stroll when Bortoletto crashed into him. We lost Alex Albon for a 4th non-finish of the season. 17 remain. The hard tyre is doing a superb job tonight. It's a one-stop strategy to get you to the finish line, and Max Verstappen is the one that is really reeling out in front, racing out in front, and currently 5.5 seconds clear of Lando Norris. And we can go to Bernie Collins at Sky Race Control.
Yes, Crofty, so just 2 quick things. The first one is Russell is really struggling with this tyre. That last lap, 7 tenths off Kimi Antonelli, despite having much fresher tyres. He is competing heavily, and that is going to be a struggle for him to even hold on to that position against those 3 in the chase and pack. Then, Crofty, you're always the one asking me difficult questions, so time to turn the table around.
Oh, what's
7 laps remaining.
Yeah.
If there's a safety car now and you're Max Verstappen, you would lose position only to Lando Norris. Do you do that for a new soft tyre?
No, because you've got 3 laps fresher life in your tyres than Lando Norris has got.
So, sorry.
Not if he puts new tyres on.
If he puts new soft on, then he's going to have new soft against Lando Norris's 20-lap old hards.
Yeah, so it would probably be an easy overtake. I think you could do both and still win it, right?
Well, he was given the opportunity. He was asked by GP what he would do in this situation. Safety car. He said he thinks the hard still feels good, but the big question marks for teams would be, now with the very long stints they've done on the hard tyre, would the temperature just drop too much? So a lot of discussion up and down the pit walls. What would they do if there's a safety car now?
The fronts look more robust on this tyre. I don't mind an overtake.
Yeah, let's just do whatever we got to do, please. Tell me whatever I got to do.
Okay, in which case, just do more.
Just do more.
Just do more.
That's the new slogan of the night.
Just do more.
I mean, there's you, Jensen. You've appeared in every program this weekend. You've been on the grid.
I can be a strategist.
You've got a lot of interviews to do
Yeah,
afterwards,
man.
but I think you should just do more.
Just do more. I like that strapline.
Yeah.
That's a bumper sticker, isn't it?
There'll be a T-shirt, ladies and gentlemen, coming your way in the near future. In the Constructors' Championship, there's Mercedes in 2nd place, and with a decent buffer over Red Bull and Ferrari, and Red Bull with a 20-point buffer over Ferrari as they try and hold on to 3rd place, where Red Bull have finished in the top 3. When was the last time they finished outside the top 3? 2015. They went into this race 4 points ahead of Ferrari. They are having, once again, a better night than Ferrari, and a better weekend than Ferrari, as they did in Sao Paulo. 41 laps old, hard tyres on board, well, at the sides of Kimi Antonelli's Mercedes. Carlos Sainz is joining the party here.
Lap 44.
And if it stays the way it is, Antonelli will drop behind Sainz at the end of this race with that 5-second penalty.
Yeah, he will. And as long as Kimi is able to stay on the racing line and keep pushing, I think he's good. If the McLaren behind, if Oscar has a little bite at him and he has to go offline and the tyres cool down a bit more, I think he's just going to go backwards very, very quickly. So at the moment, such a clean race from Kimi, and it's really impressive to see.
There's a 10-second buffer between Sainz and Hadjar to protect Antonelli in that 8th place. I think Mercedes have absolutely done the right thing. I'm just going to give Bernie Collins a round of applause at the end of this race, because she was the one suggesting Antonelli could go to the end. I think you're wasted in this commentary box. You should be on the pit wall, Collins.
I tried the pit wall and you enticed me here with you, Crofton.
We pulled you in.
Way more fun with us.
Yeah.
We pulled you in and we're not going to let you go. And later on, we'll be in the Carlos Sainz dance lounge, ladies and gentlemen. The smooth operator with his own dance lounge here
Just
in
two
Las
more.
Vegas. And he's in 7th place, dancing his way towards a net 6th place by the end of it. Verstappen currently has the driver of the day votes. Didn't he get driver of the day last time out, Max Verstappen, as well? I think he got 56.7% of the votes. The Salesforce driver of the day, that's the highest percentage in that's 2025, when he went from the pit lane to the podium for the 8th time in Formula One history.
So if it ends like this, Max will only be 10 points behind Oscar Piastri. I didn't see that coming.
No, I don't think we'd have said that when Oscar was leading the championship by 34 points from Lando Norris after Zandvoort. Max Verstappen was about 90-odd points behind that. It's been a terrific end to the season for Verstappen and for Red Bull. The way it's looking, it's going to be a terrific end to the season for Lando Norris, who seems to be on his way at the moment to becoming the 11th different British Formula One champion. Mike Hawthorne, of course, the first back in 1958, the last different Brit to win the World Championship, sat alongside me tonight. 2009 Jenson Button. I mean, obviously, other Brits have won since then, but they'd already won a title before you.
And guess what? If it did happen, it would be back-to-back boys from Somerset.
So, in terms of the pantheon of great British drivers, right? Stevenage is right out there. As a Stevenage boy, I'm going to tell you, Stevenage is still right out there, but 10 and 11 will be boys from Somerset.
I know. Well, it's in the water, obviously.
Will you be buying Lando a cider at some stage to celebrate?
100%, if you'll let me.
The scrumpies are on me, says Jenson Button, as and when, and if it happens. Oh, dear.
Someone we haven't really talked about. He's had quite a quiet race. Well, both of these have Hadjar and Hulkenberg. Hadjar's been hanging on there, doing a reasonable job. Hulkenberg, the first of the reverse strategy drivers, starting on hard and going to the medium, is actually pulling away from Lewis Hamilton. He's just put about 4 seconds into him over the last 5 or 6 laps. So doing a great race.
Yeah, I think Lewis really struggled on those medium tyres in the initial stage, first and second laps, when he came out of the pits, and hasn't been able to bring the pace back, maybe suffering a bit of grading as a result of that. They're fragile sometimes in these sort of temperatures, these tyres.
Yeah, they are. Looking at the times between Max and Lando, it's amazing how close they are in lap time. 34.0, 34.1 every lap. One lap Lando's quicker, one lap Max is quicker.
Oscar Piastri is in 5th place. Oscar Piastri has dropped back and is now out of DRS range to Kimi Antonelli, maybe saving all his battery power up for a last lap go at 4th place, or maybe he's thought, no, I'm just going to do too much damage to the tyres if I stay too close to him, and I'm going to get past him with that 5-second penalty, which would, Ted Kravitz, avoid Oscar Piastri equaling that record for the most consecutive finishes outside of 1st place, because he'll finish 5th on the road, it'll be credited to 4th, and that'll be my stat ruined once again.
Yeah, well, that was my point earlier, that with the 5-second penalty for Antonelli, Piastri has had 4th all along.
Yeah.
But what it's meant was that he wasn't able to attack an ailing Russell, whose lap times are solidly 0.8 to 1 second slower than Piastri. So that's what I meant by Antonelli's just done a job here for Mercedes and for Russell in denying Piastri the opportunity to attack Russell. Russell bringing it home now, and I've got to say, good recovery for Lando Norris. It was his mistake, overcooked it, had to go, overcooked it. Max took advantage, but Lando has minimized that damage after that mistake to only lose 8 points to Verstappen, and as you say, put the points that he has on Piastri.
Yeah, I think losing 8 points to Verstappen at this stage, not an issue. Gaining points on Piastri, that was his goal for tonight.
Yeah, this is such an important race for both of the McLaren drivers. Lando, if he finishes second and Piastri's fourth, you know, it's not a done deal for the championship, but it's a lovely buffer. And Oscar is going to be, I think.
Hey, Max got another purple.
Race, he really needs to take that challenge to Lando.
2 more laps to go.
Not had the opportunity to do that.
Last lap, Lando Norris, by the way, was 2.3 seconds slower than Max.
2 more laps to go.
I'm not sure that he lapped anyone. He didn't lap anyone. So there wasn't a reason for that. I don't know if there's an issue or not, but he's already 0.7 slower than Verstappen on this lap. Is he managing something? Is there an issue, or is this just, I've got such a margin between myself and George that I'm okay?
Yeah, it's dangerous though with these tires because it's so cold out there that if you do back off a little bit and you don't generate the heat, it just gets worse and worse and worse. So it's very easy to make a mistake when those tires are cold.
And Kimi Antonelli has increased his pace over Carlos Sainz. So at the moment, that 5-second penalty will take him down to 6th, not 7th in this race. He might have done a job for George Russell. Yes, he has, but he's done a great job for himself tonight with a super strategy.
His 8/10 he took out of George Russell the last lap, and he's already he's over a second quicker on this lap. So Kimi is chasing down George. George has obviously got issues, and he's trying to control the gap.
Verstappen being told that Lando has got some sort of an issue. So take it easy yourself out there because there's no threat coming from behind. Bernie.
Yeah, I was just going to pick up Crofty on the Antonelli. That's a very good strategy from Antonelli and Mercedes. Back them up, do what you can, maintain the gap. But then in the last few laps, use everything you can. See if you can break that 5-second gap to someone like Carlos Sainz. I've been listening to Norris radio. There's a lot of talk about management.
Come on.
I've not figured out what the issue is yet. I'll keep working on it.
Yeah, it's not an issue. It's not an issue that I think is going to cost Lando Norris second place if these current speeds are maintained, but he's hemorrhaging time to George Russell. The gap down to 8 seconds, and there is no car between Russell and Norris on track. So we'll watch the timings for you. 0.6 Russell faster than Norris in this first sector. If Russell had pace and hadn't been nursing whatever issue he was having on the tyres, he would be putting Lando under a huge amount of pressure currently.
He would. If it was Kimi, in that third position, he would be. Kimi's the fastest man on track right now with the oldest tyres.
I know. He's 46 laps old. Hard compound tyre for Kimi Antonelli.
And he's 3.8 seconds.
49 of 50.
Wowzers. He's going to take that 5-second penalty. Piastri is going with him to make sure that there is no massive margin between 4th and 5th at the end of this, because that 4th place will be Oscar Piastri's when we cross the line and when he crosses the line to finish the race. And we're on the final lap, and Max Verstappen is starting that with a 16.5-second gap, and Norris is now 6 seconds clear of George Russell. Ted, down to you.
Oh, could there be a sting in this? We don't know what Lando's problem is.
Oh.
McLaren do. Andrea Stella's been telling Zach Brown about it, but Stella, sitting in his seat with his arms folded, looks quite comfortable about it. So that's the only thing I can tell you. If Stella looks comfortable, is it comfortable? Nervous times on the last lap.
It's fuel. It's a fuel issue. It's a saving fuel issue for Lando Norris. That is what the pace drop is all about, because you don't want to be running out of fuel. Not at the end of a race, Jensen.
No, I don't think
they
so.
always underfill them a little bit because there's safety cars and slow zones, or safety cars and stuff. And also you're in traffic most of the time, so you're saving a little bit under braking. But he seems to be pushing on this whole race. As we're talking about Norris, Max Verstappen just goes purple in the first sector, purple in the second sector on the last lap. Unnecessary, but very necessary.
It's always necessary to go as fast as you possibly can. Max Verstappen powering his way once again
And there you
down
go.
the Las Vegas Boulevard. No driver has won more than once in Las Vegas. That is going to change
And
tonight.
there you go.
As
Max.
Verstappen, starting on the front row, as he did in 2023, is going to come home in P1 as he did in 2023. And once again, here in Sin City, what Verstappen's in Vegas stays in Vegas. Max Verstappen wins the Vegas Grand Prix. He keeps up his championship challenge. It's a massive margin at the end, and it's a race win that never looked in doubt. Meanwhile, there's George Russell behind Lando Norris. If there was one more lap to go, this could have got very, very spicy indeed. But Lando Norris comes home to take that podium, and George Russell will join him on it with his teammate Kimi Antonelli, finishing fourth on the roads, but conceding that fourth place to Oscar Piastri. And his pace at the end, Antonelli, kept him ahead of Charles Leclerc. That is a terrific stint. 48 laps on the hard tyre. Oh, bravo, Kimi Antonelli. Carlos Sainz comes home to take 7th ahead of Isaac Hadjar, started 8th and finished 8th.
Too good, mate. It's far too good.
Oh, it's lovely that. But a great race.
Well, there you go. Looks like Max won on this one. So I just knew that first move that Norris did at the beginning. It is what it is. I don't know. But I do appreciate everybody who watched and everything. And so let's see you out a little bit of music right now. Yeah, we just finish this up. So and then check out the podcast out right now. Go ahead and check that out real quick. And we got a new one coming out Wednesday for all the new people that's in here. Shout out to y'all. But other than that, we are adios. Yeah.
Yeah. Said a hobby, just call that though. From the corner store packs to the car show glow. Got wax on the table, let the profit grow. Hobby hustle, that's the life I chose. Buy low, sell right, that's the code I know. Every flip, every risk, make the dream unfold. Keep the grind clean, let the story be told. Hobby hustle, that's the goal I hold. He say patience pays. Now, East Coast flow, sharp delivery from them sleeved up. Rookies to slabs on the mat. I seen fortunes flip in a minute flat. Learn patience from loss, not from chat. And I don't post comps, I post facts. Late nights labeling inventory stacks. Shipping out cards, receipts, and packs. No shortcuts, just wax and tack. Build my lane off time and exact. Got love for the game, but I'm playing smart. Every trade I make got a hustler's heart. They say patience pays.
But in this game, patience grace. Every fingerprint, every flaw, every corner counts. This ain't luck, this persists. That's how you get that 10.
Yeah.
Jamming dreams, I don't bend my luck. Head steady when I lift that up. From raw to slab, that's love in a cup. Rated 10, that's how I level up. Jamming dreams, took time to trust. Clean that surface, don't rush the dust. They chase hype, I polish my cut. Graded 10, that's how I level up.
Mail came back, box stamp tight. Heartbeat wild, man, this that night. Cut the tape slow, caught that sight. Red label gleaming, numbers right. PSA 10, the journey more. Every grind paid off, behind closed doors. Every L before,
to set the score. You can't buy a piece that's earned in chores. Now I teach the young ones, slow your play. Ain't no need to flip quick, build your way. It's more than a card, it's what it say. Patience and pride gon' outlast the day. You see, grading ain't just about a number. It's about the discipline behind it. You can't fake care. And that's what makes the 10 mean something.
Yeah. Jamming dreams, I don't bend my luck. Ain't here steady when I lift that up. From raw to slap, that's love in a cup. Rated 10, that's how I level up. Jamming dreams, took time to trust. Clean that surface, don't rush the dust. Big chase hype, I polish my cut. Rated 10, that's how I level up. How I level up. How I level up. Yes, it'll hurt me. That's how I level up.
They say if you got diamond hands, you never fold. But in the hobby, you need wax paper hands. Gentle, careful, patient, you hold it. But you don't crush it.
All wax paper hands, I don't fold on faith. Holding on tight, but I move with grace. Every dip, every rise, I just wait. Patience, my prophet, that's my faith.
Wax paper hands, feel the heat and stay still. This love ain't luck, it's will. When the world go chase that thrill, I just breathe and let time build. Yeah, they was flipping fast, I was cleaning chrome. They wanted cash, I wanted home. I watch prices spike, watch people fold. But I learned that pressure refines gold. I ain't chase waves, I served them smooth. No panic sell, I stayed in groove. It's more than profit, it's in a proof. That calm gon' carry me through the truth. Card in hand, like a rosary prayer. Every slab got lessons in there. You can't time peace, you can't fake care. Some hold hype, I hold repair. Wax paper hands, I don't fold on faith. Holding on tight, but I move with grace. Every dip, every rise, I just wait. Patience, my prophet, that's my faith. Now I'm older, I play that long game. Less noise, more aim. While they scroll comes, I maintain. Hustle slow, that's how peace sustain. I seen hype come, I seen it fade, seen slabs rise, seen trust betray, but the real ones keep their craft handmade, and the wax still whispers, stay unafraid. Sometimes you just gotta let it breathe. Don't rush the grade, don't chase the game. It's all timing and care. Yeah.
Wax paper hands, I don't fold on faith. Holding on tight, but I move with grace. Every dip, every rise, I just wait. Patience, my prophet, that's my faith.
Wax paper hands, feel the heat and stay still. This love ain't luck, it's real. When the world goes chase that thrill, I just breathe and let time build. The beat fades out with the sound of tearing wax paper. Symbolic, soft, and full of peace. Sometimes the hardest part, yeah, is holding still.